Dear viewers, Namaskar. Welcome to this edition of the News Bulletin. In view of the prevalent COVID conditions, you are requested to adhere to the COVID-appropriate behaviors like wearing masks properly, washing hands frequently, maintaining social distancing and avoiding crowded places. In the headlines today, Srujani Award function organized at Raw Material Handling Plant. Program on Preventive Vigilance held at SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant. And in our Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav series, today's personality is Shri Ramchandra Bhanjdev. And now the news in detail. A program on Srujani Creativity Scheme was organized at Sanskar Udyan of Raw Material Handling Plant of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant on 22nd February. Mr. S.S. Roy Chaudhary, CGM, RMHP, presided over the meeting and handed over the awards to the winners of the scheme for their valuable suggestions. Present on the occasion were Mr. J. Singh, GM, RMHP, Mr. B.K. Behra, AGM, IED, and other officers and employees of the department. In all, 129 suggestions were awarded, of which 24 have already been implemented. Cash awards to the tune of Rs 4,450 have been credited in the accounts of the recipients. One-time benefit accrued from the implemented suggestions is Rs 13.1 lakhs. Several intangible benefits obtained are spillage and demurrage control, reduction in belt snatching, and improved safety. More than 500 new suggestions were generated during the Mela. Mr. Behra briefed the gathering about the status of Srujani in the plant and department in particular. At the outset, Mr. J. Singh, GM, RMHP, welcomed the gathering while Mr. H. N. Yadav, Manager, RMHP, proposed the word of thanks and coordinated the event. A two-day-long program on preventive vigilance awareness was held at HRD Center on 18th and 19th February. Mr. S. Tripathi, CGM, MM Purchase, presided over the concluding session. Mr. H. Pati, GM, HRD, and Mr. V.K. Yadav, GM Vigilance, were also present on the occasion. In all, 24 participants from different departments of RSP attended the program. The program commenced with the administering of Vigilance Pledge. On the first day of the program, the participants were made acquainted with the conceptual framework of Vigilance Department, the various tools of preventive vigilance including audit mechanisms and PCP 2020, through short film on preventive vigilance, case studies and general lecture methodology. On the second day, inputs were provided on CDA rules, standing orders, RTI Act, supplemented with group discussions, case studies and group work presentation. The sessions were facilitated by Mr. V.K. Yadav, GM Vigilance, Mr. Robin Kumar, DGM Personal, Mr. J.P. Shukla, DGM Vigilance, Mr. A.K. Biswal, AGM Vigilance, and Mr. Harmohan Raut, Senior Manager, MM Purchase. Mr. L. Marandi, Manager HRD, coordinated the program. As a part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebrations, SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant is presenting a series of news on the eminent personalities of Odisha, and today's personality is Shri Ramchandra Bhanjdev. Born on 17 December 1871 in a royal family of princely state of Mayurbhanj, Shri Ramchandra ascended the throne on 15th August 1892. He worked for the all-round development of Mayurbhanj state and implemented various benevolent measures for the welfare of the people. With Pandit Utkalamani Gopabandhu as his friend, philosopher and guide, Sri Ramchandra brought about significant changes in the spheres of language, health and administration. A narrow gauge railway was commissioned between Rupsa and Baripada during his reign. He constructed two major reservoirs at Haldiha and Haladia with an expenditure of Rs 6 lakhs from royal treasury. Similarly, in the educational sector, he raised the number of primary schools from 44 to 400 in his royal jurisdiction. Although he was the king of Mayurbhanj, he had great love for the entire Orissa. Under the able leadership of Utkal Gaurav Madhusudan Das, he gave momentum to the cause of making Orissa a separate province. In 1903, Sri Ramchandra presided over the first session of Utkal Sammilani. Afterwards, owing to the concerted efforts of this Sammilani, the dream of Orissa for becoming a separate state came to reality on 1st April 1936. This illustrious son of Orissa passed away on 22nd February 1912. That's all for today's news bulletin. Namaskar.